All right, y'all. Dark Spirits. This week we're going to be trying the Rowan's Creek from Willett Distillery. Okay, so this will be the third bottle of Willett product that I picked up. Previously, I reviewed the Willett Family Estate Rye. Then I reviewed the Johnny Drum. And this is going to be Rowan's Creek. Now, with it being Willett, if you look at their website, there's not a lot of information. All we know is that this is a NAS, non-age stated bourbon. Apparently high rye mash bill. That's all I got. Right around 100 proof. So again, this should give you a little bit of oomph in the flavor profile. But that's pretty much all I know going into it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and crack the top on here and get on into it. All right, Rowan's Creek. Let's go for the cork pop on here. Wait, is this a screw top? Oh, it is a cork. There we go. Usually I like to give a decent healthy pour. That way, in case I want to sip it twice or thrice, I can go back in for it. Funny thing about this bottle, so I've seen this advertised a lot of different prices, but I got this from a state-controlled ABC store, and it was like $59. So let's say $60, which means that it was about $10 more than what I paid for the Johnny Drum. So, you know, hopefully, what, you're talking about like a 20% price increase. So, again, if it's not 20% better, I'm probably going to be complaining. Let's go and see if I can give you some of the color. Not sure if that's going to come up, but it's not really dark, like the color of iced tea. Let's go for the nosing. So the nose, I am getting a lot of notes that I would expect maybe from like a rye. Kind of minty, kind of. Herbal is probably what I would say. Let me check. Alright, yeah, it says straight bourbon whiskey, but this must have a lot of rye in here. Let's go in for the tasting, then I'll let you know what I think. Okay, so not a lot going on here. What I'll tell you is that mouthfeel is very thin, very watery. Doesn't have the consistency of like maybe this must be chill filtered because it just doesn't have that kind of viscosity that I'd expect. On the palate also, I'm kind of getting like spice. More like I'd expect in a rye. Same way on the nose. But it kind of has that higher alcohol. You know, that's the thing. It's kind of like once you taste a lot of whiskeys, young to old, you can kind of get a guess at the age. This to me kind of tastes like a younger whiskey. Same thing I got when I tasted the Johnny Drum. I was like, this tastes like a 4 to 6 year old whiskey. This is like a 4 to 6 year old whiskey. I kind of get that same kind of young notes on here, along with like some spice. I double checked. It does say it's a bourbon, but I get more kind of like notes I'd expect in like a very high rye bourbon here. So with that being said, I mean, unfortunately, there's not a lot to talk about right now. This is one that I'm going to have to let air out, and then I'll be back with the long term. But I can just tell you, I am not tasting a $60 bottle of bourbon so far. So far. I'm tasting probably maybe like a $45 bottle. But I know the prices change. Considering that I paid $60 for it, that's not what I'm tasting. Could be, you know, as air gets in here, it may develop its own thing, but not really getting much right now. I'll be back with a long-term review. I want to thank you guys, as always, for watching my videos. Shout out to my cousin Chris, repping in the U.S. Army. This one's for you.